Tonight, does the world need fatter fat people?
Over the course of a couple of hours, you can burn about 100 calories just eating, so you just have to eat enough.
Come on. It ain't over till the fat lady debates, right here on Crossballs.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Women are designed for sex.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people.
I'm not gay.
It's totally immoral.
Who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.
I'm Chris Tallman. When did America become a fat food nation, and is it time to tip the scales back? First up, the owner of LA Private Trainers fitness company, Mavis McConaughey. Also with us, the author of It's Okay to Be Big, Sean Peters. Thank you for being with us. Question of the day. How unhealthy is obesity? Mavis, let's start with you.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's very unhealthy. There's a host of diseases, starting with heart disease, which is the major cause of premature death among people that are obese.
So it's not just unhealthy, it's actually a killer. Sean, how do you respond?
Gyms and fitness freaks and following a diet, I think, are proven to be the biggest causes of stress in this country.
Really?
If we could just admit that being fat is okay, then we could stop focusing on that, and we could really focus on the fact that there are a lot of positive aspects to being fat.
Like what?
Yeah, for example.
Fat people tend to survive when camping trips go wrong in the mountains.
They're surviving very uncomfortably, though.
How exactly are they surviving? You're saying that
I'm saying their body can use the fat that's there to survive for weeks at a time. Okay, fat people tend to survive more often in car crashes.
Why?
This is not fact.
How can you back that up?
Fat people are less likely to drown. They have more surface area. It's easier for fat people to float.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
In the last 18 years, you've gained how much weight?
20 pounds.
Okay.
It's not bad.
You've been struggling with your weight for a long time.
It has not been a struggle. I just eat whatever I want. You know what? People say obese people should go on diets. I think dieting is unnatural. Look, babies are born fat. Okay?
No, they're not.
I just want us to look like beautiful babies.
Babies are not born obese. You're wrong. Babies are not born obese. They're born with enough body fat that's necessary for them. The average individual who's just got some excess weight, 15, 20 pounds, you can just start an exercise program. But for someone with this kind of added body fat, you need a modified exercise. He's tired walking across the parking lot from his car to the grocery store.
Well, I park close to the store.
That's
so
right. Circles right around, and you sit in your car and you wait. I am not walking because I can't.
No, and I think all this talk about exercise. I get plenty of exercise. Okay, my heart and lungs get really worked out when I put my clothes on. You know,
you're right. He's right. He's working at sometimes 60 to 70% of his maximum respiratory and cardiac capacity.
That's right. Tying my shoes for me is like the 100-yard dash for you.
You're making it sound like that's good. That's not a good thing, is it?
It isn't. It's not a good thing.
I want to talk about what's good about it. There's another thing that's good about it, which is that everybody likes being around fat people. Fat people are jolly, you know? We tell great jokes. We have great laughs. Look, I'll challenge you right now to see whose laugh is more infectious. Ready? When I count to 3, I'm going to do my infectious laugh. 1, 2, 3.
Is he all right?
I'm okay.
All right, now let's just move on. Next issue, Crossballs found an advertisement for a resort catering to people of size. Let's take a look.
Welcome to a place where you're free to be yourself. This is Reubens Resort, where you can get everything you want and more. Finally, a resort that caters to your unique needs, where you don't have to compare yourself to other people on the beach. Spend your vacation with people your size. Adults who can enjoy the best parts of life. And lots of it. Test the limits of our all-you-can-eat bar. 24-hour room service, fine chocolate sampling, deep frying sampler night, foam parties, and larger-sized equipment to suit your big needs. finally a place for people like you. Enjoy life as it was meant to be lived. Large. Call for special discounts and a souvenir mug.
All right, Mavis, you're shaking your head during the video. What do you think?
You know what? If you take the clothes off, a lot of people that are walking around on the beach, that's what they look like. So although it's uncomfortable to look at, it is the way that it is. It has nothing to do with a specific place that they're going. It's everywhere.
All right, Sean.
I just think it's great that they're promoting realistic body types and diets, you know? I've always maintained that the best diet for anybody is a low-carb diet, but with plenty of bread and pasta.
Let's move on. Should parents be held responsible for their children's weight problems? Mavis.
They can much better manage the amount of calories and the type of calories their kids are eating. They can get them exercising. They can shut off the TV and the computers.
I totally disagree. I think that
of course.
My son is technically overweight, you know.
How much does he weigh?
He's 4'6" and he weighs 230 pounds.
He's not overweight. He's obese.
Yeah. Okay, well.
As a matter of fact, he could be morbidly obese.
Chris, my son is not a good math student. And so lately, when we go over his homework, right answers are rewarded with chocolate, and wrong answers are punished with celery sticks. And he is doing much better in math than he was.
Can I give you my card, and can he please come join my program? Because I would love to help your son.
My son is doing fine.
For his 18th birthday, he's going to be about 265 pounds. Happy birthday, you know? Happy birthday.
He's going to have a big party.
This is what I did for you.
What about making a change now? What about affecting his diet?
We have started to introduce him to salads. As long as I throw in a couple of handfuls of rainbow sprinkles.
Oh, come on now.
You know what? This seems really shocking to you, and this is terrible. But I can tell you, he is telling you the truth. And what's shocking is that many parents don't know how to go about making the changes. Until he makes the changes for himself, he's not going to help his children.
You don't have to put chocolate on your salad. Mr. Peters consulted on a public service announcement promoting, quote, realistic body types, unquote. Let's take a look. Mavis, what did you think of the video?
It's extreme. You're saying that someone who's thin is obviously bulimic because they have the same out-of-control behavior that someone who's really overweight is, and it's not true.
You're sitting there, and you're telling me that I'm unhealthy. You're pointing that finger at me, and your finger reeks of puke, just like that girl in the video. It's that ideal, that thin ideal that causes people to be bulimic. That's what that's about.
All right, coming up, is there a good diet that doesn't make you want to die?
Just a coffee and salad diet, and what that ended up doing is creating what I call volcano craps.
Stay tuned. Joining us now is a club promoter for the Butterfly Lounge, a nightclub for plus-size men and women, Dana Stewart. Also joining us, personal trainer Matt Patton. The real question, is there a danger in getting overzealous about weight loss? Dana.
There's a problem because women who don't have a problem with their weight, 5 or 10 pounds, become obsessed and start doing fad diets, ruin their metabolism, and end up, after they have a couple babies, getting real heavy.
All right, Matt, how do you respond?
I used to be 3 times what I am now. I used to weigh 310 pounds over 10 years ago, and I managed to get rid of it. My name is Matt Patton. I was called Fatton, fatty fat one, fat butts a ton. There's many derivatives of my name.
Sure.
And I did not like it at all for a while, but then I hated it so much it forced me eventually to lose weight. If you made fun of me and you're watching today, I appreciate it. I'd like to say that. I appreciate you doing that for me because it got me to turn around and walk right.
All right, now we got a picture of Matt from his heavier days. Let's take a look at this just for comparison.
Oh, my goodness.
You said you were 310 there?
Yeah, I had a sedentary job. I worked for the Transit Authority and sat in a seat a lot. I had longer hair and a lot more fat back then. Anyway, what I'm here to say, and I didn't want to come on here and insult you guys, but that's what I do for a living. I would never insult anyone who I wasn't paid to insult. I'm a personal trainer, so I'm not going to insult you.
Paid to insult?
That's my program, yes. That's my program, the Cruel to Be Kind program. Anyway, they're abusing themselves another way. I'd rather it be mental abuse and tell them how they're perceived by society.
People pay you for this?
Yes, that's the way I make a living.
You know what
and I'm
they're
proud
called,
of that.
right?
What are they called?
Masochists.
All right, they're called skinny when I get through them. That's what they're called. You rarely hear this on the Oprah discussions, but fat people fart more than normal people. And it smells worse. I'm sorry, it does.
What are you talking about? Back that up.
I think everyone would agree with that.
Bodily functions. This has no basis in fact at all.
That is
and
a
if
fact.
you have a problem with
that contributes to global warming.
Global warming. One at a time. Dana, go ahead.
What his body used to do at a heavier weight has nothing to do with me. If you had a problem with gas when you were 300 pounds, I'm sorry.
I still have gas.
I still have
gas.
Problem.
It just doesn't smell as much. I'm just saying it's a
People are different sizes, shapes, and colors. And I don't know how it is on his planet, but that's how it is here.
Sure. Matt, respond.
Well, a lot of people fit on my planet, let me just say that. Here's another interesting fact. There's never been a fat person that's contributed to the American society.
Oh, that's
Name one. Elvis was at his best when he was fat.
Elvis was at his worst when he was fat. Thank you for proving my point. He can't even fit on that stamp.
What are you talking about? Let's move on. Mr. Patton's created a weight loss routine called the Cruel to Be Kind program. Tell us about that.
The point of the video is to show people you should not be fat. And the best way to do that is to ridicule them.
All right, we have a clip from the Cruel to Be Kind DVD. Take a look.
Hey, fatty! You got crease! You got punk porker! Go, 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 go! You stupid fat cow! You're a fatty, fat! You lazy fat! Look at you, fat cow! Why do you get to take up more space than me? Fatty! That's not a spare tire! That's a monster truck tire! Hey, board of lord! Real men don't have breasts! Only fat men! Yeah, piggy! Hamburger! French fries! Pizza! Wait for me! Yeah! That's what you're eating! Wait for me! Get away! Woo! Get away! That's what you eat! 1 potato! 2 potato! 3 potato! Oh, there's no more! Cause you ate all the potatoes! You fat!
All right, Dana, what you think of the video?
Is that the way you have to get through society, is cursing? Let me ask you something.
Totally offensive, unacceptable.
You know what's...
And people who are masochistic, then I guess they'll be buying your video.
You know what's offensive? And not you. I'm not going to insult you. I'm going to insult this club you have. You're an enabler of the worst kind. That's why I'm mad at you. Not because of your overweightness. It's because your club. You enable people to be fat. I can't believe you would support her club. What's the name of it?
It's called the Butterfly Lounge.
Did you know a fat butterfly can't fly? Do you think about that? So if a fat butterfly can't fly, it's just butter. Okay?
I think what you're forgetting is that not only are we happy the way we are, but society needs fat people. Okay? They need fat people like what you were doing as an object of ridicule. If there's not that scapegoat for everybody to go after, then we're going to have to go back to hating the Jews or something. You know?
What? We are the last accepted bigotry.
Yeah,
We are.
Yes.
So you agree with that?
Well, no, I'm not agreeing with totally what he says, but we are the last accepted. Bad jokes are okay. Everybody makes them.
We are almost out of time. Let's get into the quick balls round. What advice would you give to someone who says they don't have time to exercise? Quick balls go, Matt.
Well, I say this all the time. Everyone agrees. Fat people are the biggest multitaskers because they eat and do everything at the same time. They're always multitasking because they're always eating. I say, sure, do your multitask eating, but when you're eating, defecate simultaneously. Eating on the toilet. That way, you're losing weight as you gain weight. Makes sense.
Eating on the toilet. Rebound to you, Dana.
Nobody's going to do it.
Why not?
Defecating while you're eating? What's wrong with you?
Coming up, is fast food the real enemy in the battle of the bulge? Welcome back. Joining us now is a health advocate who has been involved with lawsuits against fast food companies, Jerry Kirkland. Mr. Kirkland, you believe society can be blamed for obesity in America. Tell us about that.
Well, Chris, I didn't start this. I want to be able to sue fast food companies just like people were suing cigarette companies for making people into cancer victims. I think that the fast food companies are doing the same thing, except they're making people into fat victims.
All right, Mavis, what do you think about that?
We have freedom of choice. It's not going to change just by suing restaurants.
Dana?
I am not a victim. And McDonald's just...
I want them to hear this. Say that again.
I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I choose what I put in my mouth.
Let me ask you this. Now, bartenders are responsible for serving a drunk person, right?
Well, a bartender is legally...
Drunk driving kills.
Yeah,
Let's not talk... drunk driving
kills too. We need to be told when.
Wait.
Go ahead. You want our server to tell you, I'm sorry, you're too fat, you can't have any?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So he wants to blame somebody else for how he's feeling.
So, Jerry, what do you do when you're blaming these people? What is it that you're talking about?
Well, like television. What about television? Is way too entertaining. It's way too gripping. You can't get away from it.
We should be more bland.
I break off satellite dishes off of the top of people's houses and cut their cable.
There are televisions at the gym right in front of the elliptical.
Yeah.
I see them all the time. It's no problem.
What does that do? You break off somebody else's satellite dish and that helps them be not fat?
Well, my neighbors are always talking to me about The Sopranos, and that makes me want to eat soup, so I broke theirs off.
Why does The Sopranos make you want to eat soup?
Sopranos.
The soup. Oh, come on.
Does the West Wing make you want to eat buffalo wings?
Jerry, just keep it together for a second. All these different things you're doing, you're going out, you're doing your fat. Jerry, you're all right. All right, let's get into the quick balls round. How do we stop the next generation from becoming obese? Quick balls, go, Jerry!
Stop fat weddings. You see fat people getting married, tell them to stop. We go and ruin fat weddings. We'll go and eat up all the food at the reception and stuff.
Wow, ruining fat weddings. Rebound to you, Mavis.
You got to get them educated. That's not going to do anything, Jerry, by the way, except ruin a very nice wedding. You got to get everybody educated. The government has to start getting this.
So what? All my ideas are wrong? I don't have anything right to say?
Back to you, Jerry. Go ahead.
What is this lady? Everything I say, she has something bad to say to me. She makes me feel bad.
All right.
That's the point, though, and this is why that doesn't work. What he's saying doesn't work either. What we need to do is go into these big and tall stores that are enablers and spray paint over them and say, fat and ashamed instead. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. All these places that sell extra large T-shirts, we should not let them do that. They should be called extra fat T-shirts so people know what they're doing. And you guys, you're just enabling, and you're enabling even more, and you're the biggest one of all.
I gotta cut you off. I'm sorry. Coming up, does something in our genes make us too big for our jeans? Stay tuned. It's time for Foul Ball, where we look at something that's completely out of bounds. With us is a nutritional scientist with some controversial findings about the causes of obesity, Dr. Mary Stevens. Dr. Stevens, is obesity a choice or a genetic problem?
You know, we've all heard of anorexia.
Sure.
Where a person looks in the mirror and they can't really see how skinny they are. What we've discovered is that a huge percentage of heavy people may be suffering a similar dysfunction, where the brain misinterprets information that it sees. My studies seem to be indicating that there is a real physiological condition that overweight people have, which contributes to their problem.
You've got a demonstration, I guess, of the condition. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And talk us through this, Doctor.
I will. Now, this is a physiological condition. Take a good look at the man on the right.
They've got to get a new
now, he'll begin to rub his stomach, as you see. This is a warning sign. Much like an epileptic with a seizure, he's suffering from an onset of oculata, or fat's eye view. You'll see he sees his best friend not as his best friend any longer, but in this case, delicious mouth-watering sausages. Now, this, of course, makes people with this condition hungrier at all times than most normal people. Now, this is a very serious condition.
Well, is there any truth that you get hungry? No.
How do you know? You study that?
We have studied it. We've studied the hunger response. We've studied the genetic predisposition to obesity.
Go ahead, doctor.
My specialty is in research. This is brand new data. This is experimental. This condition is ocular in nature. What happens is actually that a fat person will see elements in the world and match them up with their fat-based worldview. For example, a large nose will become a hot dog. A woman will become a piece of fish. African Americans actually become in the shape of blackened chicken, Cajun style.
Fat people walk around and they see something and think, oh my God, that's food, I gotta eat it. What are you talking about?
I can see clearly by your aggressive attitude, sir, that you're probably imagining me as a savory cut of beef right now. Simple person-shaped lump of chocolate.
This is absolutely idiotic. Sean, do you have any response to this?
I thought the sausage looked tasty.
Oh, come on. We will see you next time when more experts get caught between crossballs. Good night.
Blue-collar comics don't do politically correct.
I am madder than a skinhead watching the Jeffersons.
They do comedy their way, back-to-back on Comedy Central with Larry the Cable Guy.
I made love to a female clown the other day, and she twisted my wiener into a poodle dog.
And Ron White.
She was suffering from PMS. She would growl at me. I would offer her my dog. I had to hide it in a piece of cheese.
It's Double Trouble on the Double Wide Double Features. Tomorrow night at 8 on Comedy Central.